Sure. How's it going with you?
Alright, cool. I'll tell you what. Today what we're going to do is we're going to learn about CHmod, we're going to learn about pipes and redirects if we have time. I think maybe CHmod might be able to, you'll be able to hang with that. If you want to code like Mary with me. Sure. Okay. Give me a second. You can see my email. That's Also, don't worry if you don't understand quite what I said. I kind of read it again and realized I don't understand what I said either, but I'll try to explain what I think I was doing. I'm so confused because it's more than one of these. Yeah, it's a Google Doc. I think I shared it with you too. Very good. Alright, so you can take it away. I'll watch this time. Okay, well, you don't actually possibly have to go, oh my gosh, I can do anything in binary. But it helps. It makes things easier. Carter, I'll tell you what, why don't we give you access to this document? I'm going to chat you the address, and that way you can at least get inside this one if you want to chat with us here. That way we don't have to jump back and forth in windows. Oh, everything sounds muffled. I'm plugged in. So I go to that website. I'm plugged in, but I'm on the wireless. No. I get off the wireless. No, it's the sound itself. Like, maybe it doesn't pick up my voice or something. I need to get real close to the computer. That's why I have to do something. Okay, testing. Is this thing on? Is this working better?
Yeah.
This is so splashing. This is looks like you've got another. Cover. Okay, yeah, she's there.
Okay.
Alright, Connor, we're inside of the Google Doc. Can you hear us better? You can talk as well.
Wee. Okay. Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Or do I still sound like really muffled? Okay. Woo! Alright, I'll try to explain this. First off, binary is a counting system. You don't have to become super pro at it. And now if I give you strings of ones and zeros, I don't expect you to calculate it like immediately. Just understand this is kind of where it's coming from, so if you can fully grasp it, it'll make life way easier. If not, that's okay. So first we're gonna go off a little bit about how we count. So if way back when we were using fingers, toes, and whatever else, you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 10. And then just repeat 11, 12, 13, and then realize it kind of got lost after 13 because that's what I did when I was a kid. So math, as we know it, is known as the decimal system, otherwise known as base 10. So, for an example, I grabbed a random 4-digit number and explained how precisely it's calculated. This is like really, really basic elementary math. But I don't think you came here for math lessons regarding stuff that you probably covered way, way back when. But the general formula is base to the place times value. This is true in any numbering system. And that's the important part. So, now that you've probably seen way too much about base 10, now comes binary. Instead of going 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, it stops at 1 and then goes to 1, 0.
1 second, Connor, I just realized the way I'm going to set this up is I want you to go back to the big blue button to be able to see this screen. And we just close out all this extra stuff that I have open up here. What I just did.
Fall asleep on me. Okay, that's the Google Doc itself.
Alright, Carter, go back to the big blue button to get to see this. That way you can actually watch the computer screen go, and then you can chat back to us. So just look in this window over here.
Okay. Alright.
Cool. So that way you can see exactly where we are in the document as well.
Yeah, so right now we're somewhere up here. So since we didn't come here for elementary math, this is binary. It just goes 0 and 1. The minute you hit 2, otherwise known as 2 to the first power, it becomes 1, 0, and so on. Now, when chmod was made, it was made with binary in mind. Because you will either have permission or you don't. You sort of have permissions, but only on days that end with a Y. Or you have permission, but only if you wear a red shirt. That just makes no sense to a computer. Computers aren't things that go, well, maybe just this once because we feel like it. It's either you do or you don't. They are the Jedi. There is no try. So the chmod values introduced earlier, remember the RWX? If you actually turn it into numbers, R is in the 2 place, is in the normally where you'd expect hundreds, W is in the middle or where the tens are, and X is the ones place, which is kind of odd in binary, but we'll just roll with it. So this is what I said. Now let's pretend we're in base 10, but we're not. This is just binary, so again, either you do or do not.
Got a question.
Carter, can you hear? Chat back in the, chat in wherever you want to pick it up. Can you hear us?
I hope not. Oh, I'm still there. Whoa. What was that for?
Fine, don't listen to me. Can you hear Sharon?
Okay, can you hear me now? Good. I'm sorry, that was an old commercial. Okay. Let's see. Oh, cool, I can minimize this. Now, since we're dealing with computers and it's either yes or no, each of these values will be 0 or 1. So 0 means no, you may not, and yes means by all means. It's kind of like, are we there yet? It's either yes or shut up, stop asking me that! So this explains more. Now the absolute easiest one to understand is the one that says no, you may not do anything. So no, you may not read, no, you may not write, and no, you may not execute. You just have to stare at it. You can't do a thing about it. So since you can't read, that's 0. You can't write, and you can't execute. This is where math sort of comes into play. Because anything times 0 can and will always be 0. Likewise, anything times 1 is itself, especially 0. So since you're not allowed to read, write, or execute, it doesn't matter what this first part is, you're multiplying by 0. And then you keep adding something multiplied by 0 and something else multiplied by 0, and you will still have 0. So this is just to illustrate, this is what the places look like if you wrote it out in the binary numbering system, and you multiply it by the permission, which is no, you may not. And you'll just get a giant 0, which is otherwise known as denied. Now, let's pretend that we're actually allowed to do something. In this case, it's just the read permission. No write, no execute. So if you take that above equation and change this first to the second to a 1, you come out with 2 to the second times 1, which we all know equals 2 to the second, plus something times 0, 0, plus something times 0. So if we evaluate 2 to the second, we come out with 4. Likewise, if you do it with write permissions only, you'll see that the only permission that's set is write, so that's the only one that's multiplied by 1, and we all know that 2 to the 1 is 2. And things get fun when you start doing multiple permissions, like, yes, you can read and execute this. Suddenly we have the read permission, which is this, and the write permission. And then it comes to the math problem, what's 2 to the second plus 2 to the 0? Which boils down to what's 4 plus 1.
Wait, Carter.
Tyler,
Can you hear me?
Alright, Tyler.
Basically, what's happening is, I think it's kind of really cool. What we're doing is, the concept that I guess we're going about it is, I'll put this on this side since he's talking over there. What's really interesting is when we put in a number like 5, immediately you can gather what it is that you want the computer to do. You're going to want the computer to write or to read and execute permission only. Whereas if you put in a different number like 2, it tells the computer immediately, I want you to not read, write only, no execute. So that's kind of what's going on with those things. Does this make sense to you? I mean, we could give you a list of rules to say, if the number is 4, it means read. If the number is 2, it means write only. And you would just memorize that list. But essentially, we're trying to teach you where these numbers come from. All right. I'm sorry. I'm going to turn it over to Sarah now.
Okay, so from here on out, I believe it's just me explaining everything. And then for those types of wonderful files where you're allowed to do anything and everything, which is really dangerous for public files, is read plus write plus execute, which comes out to a grand total of 7, otherwise known as 2 to the third minus 1, but that's for another date. And if you think binary is bad, wait till you get hexadecimal and you start using letters. So this is mostly so you, once you get the chmod and you go, I want to give these permissions, you can just calculate it out in your head, type it in, and you don't have to worry about, oh, did I accidentally give that group something I didn't intend them to? Like, hey, that's my secret password file. I think I just might have told the world how to get to it. And they can furthermore write to it, which means they can now make changes to my super secret password file, and that's kind of a disaster, so you want to pay attention to that. So, back to the chmod itself. Let's see. First, let's take a look what's in here. Let's actually go to that office of yours. Let's see. Let me take oh, yeah, I'm the best at typing. The offices with all there. Okay, let's go to this. My secret passwords file. You know, the super important one, the one that's so blatantly named. This is probably important. Now, the chmod command, let's see if I remember syntax right. Yeah, that's the correct. Okay. The chmod command is chmod, 3 numbers. That is the general syntax.
Is there a way to make this?
Yeah. Right click. Oh, I guess not.
By the way, Carter, go back to the big blue button window. Get out of the Google Doc because we're done with that one now.
Okay.
That way you can chat back with us.
Alright, we're back in the big blue button, and I can't say that name without cracking up. Alright, well, it looks like you're kind of stuck with this text. Okay, so... Alright, back to what I was saying. Its general command is... that. Now, if you're wondering, those question marks represent numbers. And after that nice long-winded explanation regarding why, the numbers themselves should be 0 to 7. Don't do anything greater than 7 or the thing will have or your computer is going to not like you. Likewise, don't try to put in negative numbers, anything with a decimal point, irrational numbers, those sorts of things. Weird stuff's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna be, what is this dot doing in the middle of it all? What's this 9? I can't read a 9. Now, furthermore, the 3 places, they represent groups, consisted of yourself, everyone in your group, and the whole wide world.
So if you type in 000, you won't be able to read it, write it, or execute it?
I think so.
Can you delete it?
I'm not sure if that comes under right. Well, let's find out.
LS dash out.
Yep. You notice how my secret passwords is suddenly a bunch of dash marks. So, for example, if I were to try to read it, nope, denied.
Can you delete it?
We're about to find out. It'll ask you whether or not you want to remove it. And if we say yes, no more my secret passwords. So let's put it back. But once again, my secret passwords, because since I willed it into existence, it got the default permissions, which is the whole world can read it. And we do not want the entire world able to read his secret passwords. Well, actually, I'd find it amusing, but I don't think he would. So let's fix that. So, let's say since I just want it so that he can read it and write it. Remember, read is in the first place, so that would come out to 2 to the second, which is 4. Write is 2 to the first, which is 6. No one cares about executions in generic files like this, so that's a 0. So 4 plus 2 is 525. Now, we don't want anyone else to be able to read, write, or execute it. And when you don't want anyone to do anything, it's a giant goose egg. Likewise, same to the world. And then, modified permissions. So, Mr. Daldy can read and write his own file. No one else can access it. And that is probably the best if you have something called mysecretpasswords.txt. However, if you really had to store secret passwords, you wouldn't do so in a public directory with the name that screams readme.
Carter, can you hear us? Alright. Is that clear as to far as changing these permissions? Now, I'm actually going to talk to Sharon and kind of ask her questions to kind of help teach you. Basically, we're not worrying about execute, because execute is reserved for programs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So text files can't be executed in the first place.
I've never tried.
Well, there's no point in trying to execute a text file.
Oh, let's see. I have a...
So anyway, that's what we're doing with that one. Does this make sense to you? So I have a question, Carter. This is more of a test then. What if you want to create a file that allows you to read and execute? It allows the world to write, and it allows No, it allows your group to write, and it allows no one to. It allows the world to do nothing to it. Yeah, yeah, I see. It thinks it's text.
Yeah.
So you want to have you read it, or you to read and execute. You want to have the world just write it, and you want to have nobody or everybody else do nothing to it. Actually, that didn't make any sense. Anyway, I think that the answer to my question was it was uh 520.
Yeah.
Well, Carter got it. Awesome. Cool. So it looks like we're ready to move on to pipes and redirects.
Okay, this should hopefully be much simpler than that. So first things first, let's put something in his secret password. And the fastest way is actually this. Something else, more stuff.
I like to type in the passwords at Myron B. Thompson Academy. One password is security. The other password is 12345.
Oh my gosh. Dude, state secrets. And we are going to say yes.
Those are two passwords.
So this is just to confirm. Yes, indeed, that's what it is. Now, what is the point of this? There's two special symbols, if you will, known as pipes and redirects. Let's see. Actually, technically, it's three, given the way the redirects work. But let's.
So I kind of feel like we should probably do grep first.
Okay.
In fact, we probably only have time to do grep in the 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Never mind. We're gonna do some searching. So.
Hey, Carter, we're going to teach you a command called grep. Grep is it's kind of like a control F.
But it's a little more complicated. Let's see. So. Let's see if I remember the. Is that it? Yep. Okay. So the general syntax is grep. What you want to find. Where.
All right, so Carter, follow me. Why don't you go on into are you logged in on the inside of the server?
All right.
All right, I'll meet you in the tech room 1. Sharon's going in on her computer. It's in the offices. Are you there?
Made it.
All right, cool. Are you in tech room 1? Awesome, awesome. There's a file called music.txt. I want you to take a look at that. Do you know how to do that? What's in there? There we go. All right, these are all the music files from 2009 all the way up to. How do I get to the page up though?
Let's see.
I'm at the top of the page, but I want to go because it doesn't.
Is simply to open it. It's from 1950.
All right, so from 1950 all the way up to 2009, I'm giving you all of the top 100 music or 100 top 100 songs. So apparently, in 2003, the top song was 50 Cent "In the Club." I don't know that song.
I've probably heard it.
Do you? Oh, I know that song. It's like a "Up in the Club." I don't know. You know what? 50 Cent's probably gonna kill me if I sing it, so I'm not gonna do it.
And then I'd be still too
All right, let's see. 2001. The You know what's really sad is I don't know any of these songs.
I know Hanging by a
I know Matchbox 20, but I don't know that song.
Oh, listen to it with Jackson Tiffany. It's a really God. I think
Oh, I remember the Wasn't Me. It wasn't me.
Oh gosh.
It wasn't me. That's such a stupid song.
Stevie Wonder was not my favorite.
All right. You're right, absolutely, Carter. There's a ton of songs, and we're just kind of looking through this and trying and thinking, wow, that's funny. All right. But here, check this out. Say that we want to take this huge list and search it. We want to search with certain parameters. So what we're going to do is we're going to call, there's a grep or a grep. That's the search function. It's kind of like pressing Control F. Then you type in what you want to search for. So you want to search, let's look up Spears.
Oh gosh.
And what I want to do is look in the music file. So I'm going to do grep. I'm going to type in Spears, and I'm going to type in the music file. Now, is grep case sensitive? I don't know. All right. So apparently, Britney Spears hit the top 5 in 1999 with "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time." Yeah, that's. And then she actually got pretty high up there in 2004 with "Toxic." Do 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 do. All right, and then what? She let's see. I don't think I've ever heard of "Circus." Have you heard that song? It's in 2009. That was not long ago. All right. So that's Britney Spears. So you get it. You understand how grep works. What are the different variations of grep?
There's actually quite a few, and there's no way to enter it without blocking.
All right. Well, how do we? It was man, right?
Yep.
Man grep.
Yep. Be a man. Look stuff up.
All right. By the way, I'm showing you some. I'm showing you guys. I'm showing you a really cool trick, Carter. And when we don't know, like I don't know all of these commands really like super well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look up the man. I'm gonna ask the man about it. So I type man grep, and this will help me understand and read what it is, what other things I can do about the uh, this will teach me the other things I can do with the grep command. For example, do you remember how we do ls? Well, we also do ls-l, and that will list things, but it will also list it in a long version. So like over here, it listed it in one line, but over here, it listed it in 4 different lines with all this other information. Well, I was able to figure out that, that command, that extra added bonus by typing man ls. And this tells me all of the different things I can do with ls. So if you look, I can type in ls, and after that I can type in -l, and this will be, it will use the long listing format. Now I can use the -k and apparently block our, what is it like?
No, it's
like another command.
Oh, it's like another command?
Yeah.
Or I can type in -N and it will give me the literal translation of it. So there's all these different variations. So there's no way we can go through and teach you every single variation of the grep command, but you can look it up by being a man. Actually, it stands for consulting the manual. So we can go grep, and we can type in additional flavors of that grep. Like for example, let's take a look at what we got. Let's grep color. Huh. What is like I want to do no.
huh? No color.
No, not no color, but grep. What's the most common one? I forgot how to use this grep thing that we did. In terms of like, there's another thing that we did, or maybe like don't find this.
Oh,
There's a search for that.
Yeah. I forgot what it was. It was like find everything that doesn't have.
Yeah.
Well, here we can even do like find everything that doesn't have 19 in it. That way we can get all of the 2000s in there. Well, let's see. How do we get the here? Let's grab everything from the 2000s.
It's dash V.
So what? Grep dash V, and I'll put 19. Oh, cool. That gave me everything that doesn't have a 19 in it. So I've got all the 2000s in there. But then again, I'm going to do the top 100 soundtracks, but the 19th, one in there is also not included in this list.
Yeah.
So you got to get kind of creative with your searches and how you're going to be doing that. I never heard of any of these.
Let's see.
I don't listen to music anymore.
Okay, I don't think some of these would be appropriate to sing in our school setting ever.
Wait, Snoop Dogg worked with R. Kelly? Ah, that's cool. All right, anyway. See you, Carter. You got soccer. Talk to you later. I don't think we're even teaching at this point. We're just kind of like, oh, whoa. All right, talk to you later, dude. Goodbye.